We're right across the road from the Georgia Highway 157 fire here in Walker County. The fire started on October 21st. It has since been determined arson. On November 2nd, the fire escaped the original containment lines and was active through November 3rd. Originally, the fire was, I think, 1,400 acres or more is what the reports were. At this time, 706 acres is now accurate representation of that fire. It was overestimated. We are doing more accurate mapping as time allows and provided for the safety of everybody. So we are updating the acreage as we can. Given the situation, primary concern is safety as well as containing the fire. Controlled, a control line, control time, whatever that may be, that is when personnel feel as if the fire is contained in an area. Controlled is when it is not actively growing outside of that area. And mopped up is when the fire is totally out. It's extinguished. There's nothing smoldering. So there's several terms that are oftentimes confused, but a containment line, a control line, that's holding the fire for that particular moment. Whether the rains came in, winds have settled down, winds have shifted. So containment lines, control lines, it is holding that fire for that time. Now if the wind shifts, the winds pick up, the winds double, humidity drops, and it blows, and it could potentially blow embers. That would be a fire escaping containment. Mopped up, when a fire is mopped up, that would be when everybody's gone, nothing's smoldering. There's no chance of that particular fire reigniting. That fire is out. On this fire and other fires throughout the counties and this corner of the state, that's kind of where our primary focus is checking containment lines, whether that be dozer lines, hand lines that were put in with hand tools. This time of year the leaves are changing, they're falling, so every day hundreds of leaves are falling in fire breaks that were installed yesterday, and so we have guys that are cleaning those breaks out with leaf blowers, with rakes. Obviously if the leaves fall in there, that could be a hazard potentially to escape containment. So yeah, there are quite a few terms, but that's so a fire may be contained for the time, but it is not controlled or out or extinguished.
So when the public sees that there's still smoke coming off the mountain, even though it's 90% contained, that doesn't mean that it's spreading out of control. It just means that there's still fuel on the ground.
That's correct.
Things burning, and you're all monitoring it and keeping tabs on it, but you've got a handle on it.
That's correct. So it's my understanding that this fire in particular is, at this moment, is slow moving. It's back burning. Back burning is a fire that's moving against the wind, low flames. But it's my understanding that there is large amounts of unburned fuel inside the fire area. So we have containment lines around an area, but that fire has meandered, and so if the wind changes, it was not burning this area, but now it could be. But even there's still it is contained within areas, but there is unburned fuel within those areas. So yeah, as long as there's smoke, this fire will not be deemed mopped up, as I told you. So mopping up is going around, extinguishing hot spots, anything that's smoldering as time allows, but our primary focus now is containing that fire. It is not 100% contained, and that is primarily due to terrain and where it's burning, not necessarily what it's burning.
Yeah. And then from your experience, when you encounter a fire like this, how long does it really take to get it to burn out so that it's really no longer a threat?
A lot of factors go into that. Where I'm at, that's the challenge here is the terrain. Where I'm at, it's a lot flatter. There's a road somewhere, there's a creek bottom with water. We depend a lot on natural fire breaks. A field, an agricultural field. It really just depends on the weather. The weather is the main thing, and the terrain. It's not that the people here are unprepared or don't have the resources. It's just, fire is a naturally occurring thing, and it breathes. It's got to have oxygen. It's got to have fuel. So we manage those things, whether that be managing the fuels, managing the area. We can't control where it goes, but we have a good idea about what we can do. If it's in a remote area, well, we know it's probably coming this way. Well, we can prepare that area, whether that be establishing new dozer lines, hand lines, or preparing, whatever we can do to prepare ahead of it. So really, to answer your question about how long does it take, if it comes in and rains tomorrow 3 inches, there's a good chance that that's probably going to put it out. But if it doesn't rain for quite some time, we can't change the weather or the topography. What we can do is change how we inform the public, how we manage the fire, how we fight the fire. So it just depends on a lot of things that's nature.